What's going on, guys? Hope you've all been well. In this video I'll be going through the trades I took on EURUSD for the week that just passed and how you could have caught these moves and gotten some really nice entries. So I took all the trades live and have the MT4 screenshots in my Telegram journal, so you know this isn't just hindsight. So feel free to check that out and join it. The link will be in the description, or just search JSnipesFX on Telegram. So Monday, I didn't trade Monday because I was at work and I didn't finish till late, and then once I finished I was tired. So I'll start from Tuesday, which was the first trade that I took for the week. So what do I see here? I see that we have played into a bearish order block. So the bearish order block here, and also a fair value gap. So that's the first sign that I'm looking for short positions. Then we get into the 4-hour time frame, and I can see that we have a very large gap here that I would like to get filled. We also have a fair value gap here and a fair value gap here. So for me, it doesn't matter which one that it wants to tap into. I want to see the reaction that happens after it. So we're already playing in this area here. This was the fair value gap that I was looking at. But again, if it went only to here and filled it up and then went down, that's fine. If it went to here and then I get that reaction, that's fine as well. So going into the London session, what I'm waiting for now, so it's tapped into here, so now I'll wait for market structure to next show me what's happening. So we get a nice sweep of the Asian highs. So for me, what a sweep is it's just a wick that takes this out. It's not a candle body, it's just a wick. So we get that right into the fair value gap. Then I move to a lower time frame to see, are we going to get a break of structure? Oh, okay, a bit of a lag on Telegram. So now I'm looking for a break of structure. So I'm waiting for this area to get broken. Then we have a really strong break of structure there. We can see these candles are quite bearish. Now, the same thing that I was doing before, I'll go to a 1 minute time frame now, and then I'll look to see, do I have a trading range that's been created? So I'm patiently waiting at this point. Sorry, I forgot to mark out my ICT kill zones. So that's 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. New York time. So that's it as well. I'm looking for the trade to happen in this time period. So we get waiting, and then once we get the break here, we have our trading range from here to here, and now we have our premium and discount prices, and price has gone into premium and it took out some liquidity here. So now I was just simply waiting for price to break structure, which it did here, and then I was going to enter. So my entry, what I did take was here. So the order block, we had a sweep of liquidity here and then a break, and you can see this is a really strong break. So that was a sign that we're going bearish. My entry was here, stop loss there. So I don't know my exact entry and stop loss, just because I'm adding spread and everything when it's live, not just a trading view trade. I know this trade was 5.8R, but on here it will be a bit more because it's not accounting for the spread. So I entered here, and what actually happened that was quite frustrating. On my MT4 broker, I thought this was a break of structure. It showed that it was, or it was equal lows, and it looked to me at first glance that was a break in structure. So I went to break even, and then what happened was price came and it actually stopped me out here with the spread, and then it went down. But I just couldn't accept that I was going to miss that trade, so I then ended up going for, so this one's now at break even, so I'll remove that. So we had another break of structure here, and then I was basically just looking for another entry here and targeting the lows down there. And that's exactly what happened. It came, tapped me in, which was really great. And then my target was here, just a safe target at these lows, and it was for 5.8R. and price just dropped really nicely. Okay, so that was the first trade that I caught on Tuesday. I was also expecting these lows here to get taken out, which it did actually do, but it would have hit me at break even if I would have gone for that. So I'm quite grateful that I just took my profit when it was there and let it run after. So that was the first trade. So we'll go to the next day. And you can see the thought process behind it. That's the most important thing here, is the thought process. So again, every day I do pretty much the same thing. I mark up my London kill zone. I have my Asian sessions that print by itself with an indicator. So again, I start on the daily. We're still inside this order block. See that? We're still inside it. It's quite a big order block. We could go to the 50% of it. So here we have that. So if it's playing within here to 50%, I'm happy with that. Then we have a 4 hour, the fair value gap here that we're still inside of. But now what I see that I really like is that we've filled it completely. And not only did we fill it completely, but we swept liquidity here. That shows me that this now, we're going to take this liquidity out, and we're also going to go to 50% of this range, or even down here. So we'll wait for the London session anyway to start. So let's fast forward to there. Okay, so before we get to London session, I'm now looking at, okay, what's happened? We've had a 4 hour fair value gap filled. We had the 4 hour sweep of liquidity, and we also had a 1 hour sweep. This low here failed to break a high. So this low is going to be weak. Okay, so now I know we've got a target coming here. So I'll go to the 15-minute time frame and see what happened. We had a sweep of liquidity in here, and then a break in structure because we got the candle body here that broke. So now I've watched this. So we have a break in the opposite direction. So we have the trading range from here to here, and now price has gone into the 50%, and we had a break in structure in this bearish direction. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, we've done everything we have to up here. Now price is heading for here and here. And when you look at it carefully, you can see all the highs are being protected. Nothing's being taken right now. So I was just simply waiting to see what's going to happen next. And so price went there. Over here we took out some liquidity. We had a major break here, and then we had the break in the opposite direction. So we had a lower time frame trading range as well from here to here. Once we got that, I was waiting for it to go into the 50% in the premium, which it has tapped into here. I could eyeball it, but just to be safe, you can check it like that. And now I wasn't. So I could have entered directly here, but because we were, if we look on here, we were, of this range, we were in discount actually. We see we're in discount. But because I knew we were targeting liquidity here, I was happy to take that trade. But I wanted to be a little bit more safe. So I waited for a little break to show me that, yes, we're going to go lower. So we tap into here, and then we get this really bearish candle. And if you look here, there's a little low right there. So that was my that was the break here that I saw, and then simply all I did after was enter. I think I entered about here. Stop loss was here, and then my target was the 15-minute low down there. So this trade was, maybe I was a little bit, yeah, something like that, because I got 4.6R on this trade, and then it ran down. So it played around a little bit in my stop loss. I only go to break even once it went there, so I was fine. and then eventually we got there. So that was just a simple trade. Even though we entered on the 1 minute, you can see everything came from the higher time frame. That's what I'm saying is most important, is the higher time frame context. So pay attention to what I said there and go back test it yourself, because that will be very important for you guys. That was the only trade I took that session. So price took this out, it went back up, and then it came for these lows here, which was the sell side liquidity. Now the next trade I took was actually in the Asian session. So I don't actually trade the Asian session very often. So I don't even know the kill zone times for it, if I'm completely honest. I was at work and I was on a break and I saw this trade come, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to take it. It looks too good. So again, what do I have? I have a fair value gap close here. We swept this liquidity here and we had the fair value gap closed perfectly there. So now I went looking on the 1 hour time frame to see, okay, what's happening now. I can see over here, did it swipe? Okay, so we had that, and then we had one more sweep of liquidity. Now what I was waiting for is, once we had that, I wanted to see a 5 minute break in structure. So even if you would have seen this as where it tapped in and closed, you can see there's no 5 minute break anywhere here. So I wouldn't have looked to take this trade. Then over here, if you look very carefully, what happens, we have a swing high here. So there is my 5 minute break of structure, because this high broke this low. So now I've got my 5 minute break in structure. So now I'm looking to take longs. Then what do I get here? We get a sweep of liquidity. Now I'm waiting to see a break in structure. So I was waiting. Speed this up a bit. Okay, now here we have these equal highs right here. And I have, this is only minus structure, but another sweep of liquidity. And then we have a break over here. So my entry was off this order block. And because the stop loss was so small, I would have done it to here, but it's just way too small. So I made it 2 pips. That's my rule. That's the minimum I'll do. And then my target was just very close here. It was just a quick scalp. I didn't want to try and target anything crazy, especially since I was at work and I couldn't monitor it too well. And that was simply that. Tapped the 4 hour fair value gap, or closed it. Had a 5 minute BMS there. Swept liquidity, broke structure on the 1 minute. And now, there we go. And we ran to the take profit area for 4.5R. So that was a great day. I didn't trade the London session. I was very busy at night, so that London session passed me. And let's do the last day, which was the Friday. So Friday was a really great day for me. Had some really nice trades here. So what do I see? Let me skip it to, let's see how close we can get. So I'll mark out my London kill zone again, so you can see it's the same process over and over. I'll check the daily to see what happened. Now on the daily, okay, we'll pretend we didn't see this here. So on the daily, what happened the previous day, price tapped into this order block, and then if we look on the 4 hour, we can see that there was a big reaction. Price went straight down. So because of that, we also have a sweep of liquidity and we had a break in structure. So we've gone into the 50% of the trading range, tapped the daily order block. So now I'm expecting this low to get taken out. So that's my draw on liquidity, meaning I'm looking to be bearish at this point of time. Okay, So if we go to a 1 hour time frame, I can see that, okay, fast forward a little here, I can see that here we have big fair value gap. We've got this area that's weak on the 4 hour. So now what I'm expecting, or what I was looking for personally, I could see there was a lot of liquidity here because of Asian highs. You can see all these equal highs here. So what I was looking for or anticipating was price to go down, up, take out this liquidity, and then go down. So I was either ready, if it went up, I was ready to look for shorts in here, or down in this area. If I had the right signal from market structure, I would wait for that, and then I would take the buy. So what I kept seeing, the only point of interest here was this 15-minute order block. That's all I could see. So I was waiting to see the reaction that happens once we tap into the body. As you can see here, what kept happening is we had a sweep of liquidity, then another sweep. It was no bodies breaking. So this happened outside of the kill zone, so I wasn't trading then. Then we had price go down, and we had another sweep here. So if I draw that out, we had a sweep, another one, and now this is right before the order block. That is acting as liquidity or inducement. So the fact that we're failing to break with a body each time lower is showing me that price wants to go up higher now. Then we had one more sweep here. Once we got this sweep, then it was time for me to go on a lower time frame. So I went to the 1 minute time frame. Okay, is this gonna load? Perfect. So I went to the 1 minute time frame, and then I had this trade here. So I saw we broke structure here. So even if you view this as your break of structure, that's fine. For me, I just look at the swings. So I see this was a swing point or swing high because of the 3 candle formation. And this was a nice order block and a breaker with liquidity resting right above it. So that was my go-to, that was my entry. So I put this here. Another thing that I checked, premium and discount. This is in a discount level. That's the most important thing. So my trade was like this, and I was targeting the Asian highs. So all those equal highs, that's where I was targeting. Alright, and then price tapped into it, and it just shot up. Now, annoyingly, I went to close on MetaTrader. I went to close some of the position here and let the rest run to here. Somehow I clicked close the whole trade and it closed everything off there, and then it didn't let me, and then I saw this and I was like, wow, I missed out on a lot of profit, but I still made profit, which was good. So now that we took out this liquidity here, price had no reason to come any higher and take this out, because of this was the draw on liquidity, because this is the weak low on the 4 hour. Also, we have our trading range. So this was the start of the move. That's where the energetic price movement started from. This was the low here. So I'll just wait for it to come into premium. Then once it came into premium, you can see it filled up this fair value gap on the 15 minute, and I was just waiting to see if I could get an entry. So I was waiting. I wanted to see a 1 minute break in structure, and price didn't do that. And then I saw this shift in market structure, and I wanted to enter off the fair value gap here, and it just didn't come there. So I was patiently waiting. I was watching the 5 minute as well, and then what I saw was, this fair value gap got created here. So I went on to a 1 minute time frame. This doesn't look like the 1 minute time frame. Not sure. There we go. I'm not sure what's going on with TradingView recently. But anyway, So I saw on the 1 minute we had liquidity here built up. We had this nice order block here. So and then I just checked the premium and discount, and I could see, okay, this is in premium of the range. So I just wanted to get into the move. So I took my trade from here. It was a bit of a risky entry, but I put my stop loss here because I wasn't expecting, if it was to go any further, it would just fill this and then drop. I wasn't expecting it to come past here. So it was a little bit riskier what I did. If I was safer, I would have put it there. But yeah, I took the risk because I had a really good week. And then, so price came up, went there, and then my targets was all the way at the 4-hour week low. So price tapped it, and then after price, it just dropped so heavily. And that was that. So you can see the 4-hour target here. That target there was met. So that was all the trades I took. I ended up, all those trades were 23R. I risked 0.5% per trade, so ended up with 11.5%. I did have a few break evens and I did have 3 losses, so it ended up being something like 19R, so just under 10% for the week, which was incredible. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope that helps you guys see a bit more into the entries and the thought process of how I go from the high time frame to the lower time frames. So if you like this video, again, please just subscribe, like, comment any videos that you want to see, so suggestions, and I'll go and do that. Till next time, take care.